everyone. I thought today would be an amazing day to share a wonderful tool of change that really works for me and hundreds of people that I've shared it with. And I think it's because it's so successful across the board with small challenges and big challenges that I think it's really useful to share with you. And I've kind of made it into a game, and it's called the Game of Opposites. So this is based on your emotions and any thoughts that you have that you might want to actually change into something better, something more positive. So sometimes I do open book, and I'm going to do a whole section on that at some stage or other. It's a great way to just get sort of a little bit of help from the universe sometimes. And one of the books I use is The Deep Breath of Life. You can see it's a little bit dog-eared now, by Alan Cohen, and I think it's absolutely wonderful. And open book's a really easy way of you getting into your intuition and getting some help from your higher mind in a way, or spirit if you want to look at it that way, just by literally thinking of the question, any question that you want some help with. And sometimes for me it's, can you give me some guidance? So I actually asked for some guidance for this particular little video, and I just went, show me some guidance about what it is that is best to share with everybody today. And I opened it up, I've left my thumb in obviously, so I can share it with you. And it's come out as, I live in the world I choose with my thoughts. Which I think is actually so apt for this morning. I live in the world I choose with my thoughts. And it's a reminder, you know, that we are the only masters of our mind. You are the master of your own mind. There's no one else that can ever get in there. Whatever you hear from whoever in the whole world, we're the only ones that can allow it to stay, allow it to fester, allow it to bring us joy. We are the only ones who are the masters of our own mind. And I love it if you want to just try that out. Say to yourself, I am the master of my own mind. Affirmations, anything that we say out loud is really important, because our subconscious is actually programmed to hear our own words first and then our mum's. So it really takes note. It's like an unemotional computer program, really, if you like, part of our mind setup that just takes the instruction of whatever it is we're saying, tries its best to deliver. So it's really nice if we select some positive things to say to ourselves, some nice positive input, so that it can work with that along with all the other types of input that reside in everybody's minds. So master of your own mind means we have a conscious choice all of the time as to what we do, what we say, how we feel. We can alter things. So I wanted to talk to you about this game of opposites and show you how it's done, because it's taking any sort of fear-based, negative-based, uncomfortable-based thought or feeling and making an instant change into something that's more pleasant. And the most important thing about this is that you identify what that feeling or thought is to begin with. And somebody's literally just dropped into the centre where I'm recording this from, and I asked her, could you volunteer a couple? So this is an example. I feel shackled. Okay, so we're going to take this example, I feel shackled. So I'm going to ask you to think for yourself, what's the opposite of shackled for you? So if you just take a moment to really allow that thought, that response to that word to surface, because it's really important that you get your own answer. And it's really important that you spend however long it takes You know, a whole minute in these circumstances can feel like forever. Just allow it to surface, to come up, and whatever it is, even if it doesn't make any logical sense and you think, that's a bit odd, whatever the opposite is, that's your gold dust, that's your treasure, that's your key to ease and love and life in this world. You stick with that one. Don't change it, don't let your mind alter it, just use whatever comes up. So in this instance, our friend said, I feel shackled. And then the opposite for our friend is, I feel completely free. So we're going to use that as an example, just so I can show you. So literally we use our arms to do this because we want both hemispheres of the brain to actually be in cohesiveness. We want them to come together and actually work together in unity, not in duality. So we use both sides. So it's basically sometimes is a lovely word that opens up that computer program that goes, what's happening? So it's like, sometimes I feel shackled, sometimes I feel completely free, and I'm okay with that. In this instance, this prayer position, the clap and the bringing it into the prayer position, is actually containing the heart energy, the energy that constantly moves up and down our arms and through the heart base. So it's invoking and including your authentic heart at the same time. So sometimes I feel shackled, and sometimes I feel completely free. And as you can see, I'm having to check what the words are because they haven't come from inside of me. So maybe that's something that would help you too, just to write it down in case you get emotionally involved and forget what it is you're doing. So sometimes I feel shackled. Sometimes I feel completely free, and I'm okay with that. Sometimes I feel shackled. Sometimes I feel completely free, and I'm okay with that. Sometimes I feel shackled. Sometimes I feel completely free, and I'm okay with that. Sometimes I feel shackled. Sometimes I feel completely free, and I'm okay with that. And what you want to do after 3 or 4 is just check in and see if there's been a change. See if there's been a change. And you work with this, you do it as many times as you need till you enter a field of neutrality. It's one where you just feel, oh, something's changed. You can't quite name it, but you're not feeling as shackled as you were when you began. It's a change that sort of, you can't really name it or describe it. It's just something you have to experience. So keep it going. Sometimes I've had to do it for 12 times. Sometimes it's more than that. Sometimes after 6, I'm done. So it depends on the depth of what it is you're changing and how frequently it's been in your life before you actually adapt this particular tool of change to that emotional state. So let's try another one now. Another one was, sometimes I feel my life is hard, and the opposite for our friend was, sometimes I feel my life flows with ease. So we're going to try that one now. So if I can ask you to ask yourself, if ever this has been a reality for you, that sometimes you feel life is just hard. So if you feel that, it's like, what's the opposite for me to that? What is the opposite for that? And once you've got that, if you note that down, because in this case we're going to use our friend's response, which is flow with ease. But if you've got something different from that, that's the one you need to actually use as we do this together. Okay, so let's try that one. So sometimes I feel life is hard, and sometimes I feel my life flows with ease, and I'm okay with that. Sometimes I feel life is hard. Sometimes I feel my life flows with ease, and I'm okay with that. Sometimes I feel my life is hard, and sometimes it flows with ease, and I'm okay with that. Sometimes my life feels it's really hard, and sometimes it flows with abundant ease, and I'm okay with that. And so again, you're repeating this, preferably staying with the same words. I just went off kilter a little bit there because I was getting a bit passionate about it, and that might happen for you. It's just to show you what might happen. It might actually grow into something that brings a bit of passion out. Don't be afraid of the passion. Go with it as deep and as passionately as you want, but you're still looking for that neutrality field. In fact, to be quite honest, for me, it seems to work much better if you reach that field where you know something's changed and you do some more and you do some more, almost to the point where you're bored with it. Because at that point when you're bored with it, it means the initial emotional and mental space you were in has changed. It's fluidly changed. Some flow has come back into your existence, and you can then move forward with your day in a completely different space. So I really hope that this has been useful, and I'd really love some feedback from you about, if you've got any questions about this particular tool of change. I'm very happy to answer those, and let me know how you go with it. Let me know how it changes for you. Okay, lots of love, soul to soul. Bye for now.